What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another episode of Player Ratings, and I love doing these videos, especially after a game like it was last night. Sim, you were there. The absolute scenes from the videos you were sending through were absolutely unbelievable. The scenes all over Twitter, and even in everyone's watch-alongs and in their living rooms and stuff like that. It was unbelievable to see.
I've been addicted to Bergwijn goal reactions ever since that moment. It's been absolutely, it was incredible, and it was one of those moments that's going to live long in the memories. It was one of those iconic moments, wasn't it?
Definitely. And let's get into the player ratings. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris back in the side. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. I thought he could have done better with the first goal. I thought he went down a bit too low and it went through his arm, his hand for the first goal. But apart from that, I thought he did well. He came under fire from Maddison quite a few times and he was equal to both of his shots. Second goal, I don't think he could have done much. But yeah, all in all, it was a good display. But I just marked him down a bit for that first goal.
Yeah, I thought he actually made some 2 really crucial saves during the game, both from Maddison at times in the game, which could have been really detrimental. So I thought some really big saves at crucial times kept us in it. And first goal, could he have done a bit better potentially? Could have stood up a bit stronger, but it was from very close range, so it's hard to mark him down too much. But I think he made the crucial saves at crucial times was very important, and obviously he gets an extra point for that sprint right at the end.
Stopping Bergwijn getting
exactly. He saved us from a red card.
Yeah. Let's move over to Japhet Tanganga. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 5. I give him a 5, but albeit I do think it was a lot better than it has been recently from Japhet. I think he was. There were a few sloppy moments and nervy moments on the ball from him, which you expect, but there were also good moments on the ball for him when he was getting the ball and charging through the midfield, trying to start attacks for us. He was foraging forward quite a few times during the game. It was his deflection for the second goal that seemed to find the net. But apart from that, look, I thought the defence were fairly untested, but there just were a few nervy moments in there from Jaff.
Yeah, I think it was improved from Jaff, actually. I thought he was able to go forward and charge forward with a lot more confidence than he had in previous games. I feel like against Chelsea and against Morecambe, I think it was, it seemed like he almost was like too scared to go forward. But this game, definitely maybe under Conte's instruction, he had a lot more confidence in himself. And that was good to see. Defensively, I think in the few times Tottenham did have to defend, actually, we kind of struggled a bit. And obviously he's a part of that. But I think in general, he actually had a pretty good confident display. And I was happy with him, yeah.
Davinson Sanchez, 6s all round from us for him. And I thought he looked strong on the night. I thought defensively, I thought he did really well, apart from, I think it was it him that lost his man for the second goal, Davinson. But I thought all in all, it was a good display. He could have got a goal as well, hitting the side netting. But Davinson Sanchez, I think his recent displays have been really strong. I don't think this one was as strong as it has been in previous weeks, but still a good display in my opinion.
Yeah, I think his role in both goals he won't enjoy, to be honest, which was really frustrating. I don't think it was like a glaring error, but it's a lot more positional things which he could have done a lot better with and got the ball away, especially the second goal where he let Maddison run off him, and once Maddison got a run on him, he wasn't able to track him, and obviously caused the goal. I think actually on the ball, it's a bit of a flip. On the ball, he was actually quite good. Yeah. I thought he actually played the most accurate long balls.
He was pinging it about, wasn't he?
He played some really good long passes. He played all his long balls accurately, 7 out of 7. So you got to say that's impressive, especially for someone who struggled in that department. And he was actually playing some dangerous ones as well. So that's fair play to him. And obviously, as you say, a couple of occasions he got forward from the corner, nearly scored, should have scored that goal when he hit the side netting. So it wasn't all bad, but defensively, I was found wanting a bit, especially when he was looking to lead the line.
Ben Davies, moving on to him. Sim gives him a 7. I gave him a 6. I mean, he had his hand in the first goal as well. Well, to be honest, I think most people had their hand in the first goal in terms of the defence. But all in all, I thought he defended well on that left-hand side, got forward a number of occasions, was keeping the ball ticking with his passing as well. So another good display from Ben, I thought.
Yeah, and he was wide left a lot of the time. Again, a bit like Tanganga, was able to go forward many, many times, and especially late in the game when we were pushing for a goal. He found himself in the penalty area a lot and nearly scored when he gets a head on the cross from, I think, Lucas, but Schmeichel was equal to it. And Another good display from him. I don't think he was the most culpable, but as you say, first goal, he had his role. Second goal as well, I don't think it was more his fault, but Barnes kind of got the back heel away from him, and Maddison was able to get in behind him, which he wouldn't be happy about. But ultimately, I thought it was a decent display from Davies.
Yeah, let's move on to Emerson Royal. Sim gives him a 5. I gave him a 3. Most definitely our poorest performer of the night. Got hooked at half-time, and quite rightly so, because it definitely changed the game with Doherty coming on, which we'll get onto a bit later. But Emerson, I mean, he was shoved right up tight, really up the pitch, but just didn't have any impact whatsoever on the game. I mean, I don't really remember him doing anything, to be honest. Yeah,
that was this disappointing thing with Emerson. He wasn't usually, even if he's not got the quality, he's usually an option, and he didn't seem to be that way yesterday. I think he was rightly hauled off at half-time, and he wasn't providing any sort of threat from the right-hand side. It was too easy for Leicester to deal with him. And that's something he's definitely got to work on. Definitely a very disappointing display. Defensively, Lookman as well in the first half was getting a bit of joy, which he didn't get in the second half. So that's something that you got to put down to partly, at least, due to Emerson. So I think it was a really poor display from him, and Conte did the right thing. Even if you ask most people, would you have wanted to see Doherty come on? Still, I think a lot of people would have said no, but he did it, and it proved dividends.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to Ollie Skipp, 7s all round from us. Another industrious performance from Ollie Skipp. I thought he was brilliant in the centre of the park. Aggressive play, not giving the Leicester players a moment to breathe on the ball. And what really impressed me is the way he went forward, the turn of pace he was showing as well to get past defenders, get past midfielders. He was a threat on goal. I mean, he took one shot that maybe could have found the back of the net, but didn't. But look, Ollie Skipp, a lot of work that he does goes unnoticed, and I think the guy is getting better and better.
Yeah, another really positive display from Skippy, who, as Conte was saying, has to become an all-round midfielder, and he seems to be doing that. Yeah. Given more licence to get forward with Winks in the team in the midfield 3. If at times he was the one closest to Kane supporting the attack at times when we were on the counter-attack, and Lucas was kind of not there. He was only Skipp to find. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to create much or get to be too dangerous, but being an option,
he was always an option, wasn't he? Always.
And that means something, because it means that creates more space for Kane. It creates more space for the other more dangerous players, and it allows Kane someone to play off with when he is struggling for options. So that was good, and I thought defensively, again, as usual, he was brilliant. So good display, solid.
Definitely. Next up, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, 8s all round, and a much, much better display from Pierre. He's been struggling of late, but this game he really got back to his best. He dominated the midfield massively. He was getting up and down the pitch in a kind of box-to-box role. He was putting out fires. But what really what's going to earmark his performance is, first of all, that last gasp block for Harvey Barnes towards the end of the game, which was really a match-saving tackle, really. And then towards the end, I mean, both of those goals, both of Steven Bergwijn's goals don't happen without Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg being there. He's the one that played that ball into Matt Doherty, who created that goal. And second of all, he's the one that won that ball in the middle of the park from Tielemans and set Kane off to play in Steven Bergwijn. So impacting the game massively yesterday, Hojbjerg.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he had a fantastic performance. Even before the last few minutes, I thought he was our best central midfielder. He was the one taking on the responsibility in the centre of the park, on the ball and off the ball. I thought on the ball, he played some really great, pinging some really long passes as well throughout the game, which was really great to see. I've always said, when you give Hojbjerg time and space, he can actually has a decent pass. It's when you rush him and press him and you force him under pressure, then he can struggle and his passes start to get a bit inaccurate and sloppy. But yesterday, especially for our equaliser, they gave him time and space, and he was able to pick out Doherty on a sixpence. Brilliant ball that is, right, under pressure in terms of time-wise. To get it right. If that goes wrong, we lose the game. And he got it spot on. Obviously, Doherty was there and we get the goal. And then he was one pinching it off Tielemans to score, went on to score the winner. So I thought he played a massive role in the team, and I was really happy with him. And he's come under a lot of criticism, and he looked fresher yesterday. He just looked like he wasn't tired, and that's maybe he needed a little break that we had.
Thank Arsenal for that.
Exactly, thank you.
Let's move over to Harry Winks, a third midfielder in the middle 3, 7s all round from us. I don't think it was as much of a good display as it has been in the past, but the role he did for the team yesterday was brilliant. He was sitting in that base in the centre of the midfield as pretty much a quarterback role. It was his lovely ball into Harry Kane that levelled us up at 1-1. And I thought that his role in the team yesterday just let Hojbjerg and Skipp do their own thing yesterday, and I thought he was very imperative to everything we were doing yesterday, Winksy.
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, it was a great through ball to Harry Kane for the goal. Really well timed and good way of pass on it. One thing I'll say about Winks as well throughout the game was his set pieces. Thought they were really strong when they were from his side to the corners. Where it be for the one that Kane hit the bar, I'm pretty sure he whipped it in as well. I think he whipped it in when Sanchez. No, that might be Reguilon actually. But I thought in general, we were really threatening from set pieces yesterday, and his crosses were really strong. And throughout the game, I think he kept Spurs in control when we were able to progress the ball up the pitch really quickly. And I think it was very clear when we had the ball starting from a goal kick or something like that. We had much more ability to move up the pitch than Leicester did. And I think Winks, his ability to keep possession and keep the ball ticking over was evident yesterday. And I thought it was another solid display from him.
Definitely. Left wing back Sergio Reguilon back in the side yesterday. 6s all round from us. And I thought it was a good display, but I thought his end product let us down. I thought he was getting involved a lot in the early stages of the game. He was in a lot of spaces a lot of the time. His link-up play with Kane and Moura was really hurting Leicester, but it was just his end product really that let him down on the night.
Yeah, I thought, especially in the first half, he was actually a really big threat. A lot of the time down the left-hand side, he was running beyond Kane and overlapping and getting in really good positions. There was one moment where he puts it into the centre of the goal and Kane can't quite get ahead of the Leicester defender. It falls to Schmeichel, and that was one of a number of moments where he was dangerous. I thought his corners as well as Winks, pretty solid. I think he whipped the ball in to the back post for Sanchez, which he nearly scored from. But second half, yeah, he kind of fell out the game, became a bit anonymous, and I think it was rightfully taken off for Bergwijn, and then Lucas went out wide. So that was pretty solid.
Say that again, rightfully taken off for Bergwijn.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think actually it was an interesting thing because when Conte takes him off, he puts Lucas out wide, and then Lucas becomes a winger, not a wing back, which really showed his intent to go and win the game. I felt making that substitution, really attacking substitution. So. Not a terrible display from Reggie, but I felt in the first half he was really sharp, but he kind of dwindled out, yeah.
All right, let's move on to Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura, Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 5. In the opening half an hour, he did force Schmeichel into a save. He also put Kane through for a one-on-one where Kane probably should have done better from. But apart from that, I thought he was fairly quiet throughout the night. I mean, he did seem a bit tired. But yeah, not the greatest Lucas Moura display.
Yeah, as the game went on, he's kind of started to struggle quite badly until I felt he was kind of a bit anonymous on the periphery. I felt a lot of the times actually Kane was looking for support and he wasn't there. But until later on in the game where he brought on Bergwijn, he put Lucas out on the left. Although you would have thought he's going to put Bergwijn out on the left, but he didn't. He put Lucas there, put Bergwijn in the centre. And I actually thought Lucas came a bit alive again. He started to take on his man. He started to get some crosses in. He started to find a bit more space. And he looked in this particular game a bit more comfortable out wide than he did in the central area, I would say. But and then that helped the team. But I did think in general up front with Kane, he struggled a bit.
Yeah. Let's move on to Harry Kane. 9s from us, an absolutely stellar display from Harry Kane. I mean, if he puts away some of his chances, I mean, he did get a goal, but if he puts away some more of his chances, you're probably talking about a 10 out of 10 performance from Harry Kane yesterday. He did let a few chances get by him yesterday, but in terms of his general play, the guy was unplayable yesterday. He really was. He was coming deep. He was everywhere. If you see his heat map yesterday, he was literally everywhere on the pitch yesterday. He was coming deep. He was spraying the ball. He was being our tempo dictator at some points yesterday. He was getting past men. His pace he was showing yesterday was something I haven't seen from Harry Kane in ages. Just everything. He was taking shots from 30 yards. He was just trying to make stuff happen, and you could just see how much he wanted it yesterday, and you could just see how happy he was and his relief when we did get that winner right at the end, and his interview after the game as well, that he just could not hide that smile, and it's something we have not seen from Harry Kane in ages.
Yeah, I think at times he was a one-man army. Times because I felt like a few times when Lucas was on the periphery of the game, he was kind of doing it all by himself because the fullbacks weren't providing that much quality. Lucas was in and out of the game. All of a sudden, he's there. He knows Winks and Skipp on Hojbjerg are not the biggest goal scorers, so he's like, looking, what am I going to do? And I thought he did exceptional, absolutely exceptional. I think he had the most dribbles in the game, which I've never seen him dribble so much in a game before. They couldn't get the ball off him. It was unbelievable.
He was so much fitter, doesn't he?
Yeah, he seemed sharp. He seemed fit. He seemed able to dribble past players on a number of occasions. They found it really hard to handle him. No more so right in the beginning of the game where he dribbles past like 2 players, gets a shot off, it was cleared off the line. Now that set the tone for the whole game, that moment. And he was coming short, providing trouble there, providing really dangerous passes to the likes of Skipp, the likes of Lucas, Reguilon on many occasions. He was stretching the defenders with the goal. He was getting behind them. He was taking shots from 30 yards. He was holding the ball up. He was taking amazing first touches. The players are bouncing off him. He was bullying the likes of Sionchu and Vestergaard.
Bullied Sionchu.
And they're strong centre-backs.
Yeah.
These are strong centre-backs who, on a regular basis, get the better of strikers. And he was bullying them, muscling them off the ball. I thought he was on top of his game. And if he, as you said, the only thing preventing him getting a 10 was either putting that through that one-on-one or when he hits the bar, putting that in the back of the net. Probably some chances where he'll think back and think I should have scored them. But other than that, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. The best performance of the season by far. And definitely signs of him getting back to his best. And not just back to his best, but really believing in the project again.
It seemed like a little bit of a 16-17 Kane creeping in, with those runs and beating men, showing a bit of pace.
10 shots as well. When was the last time I had 10 shots in a game? Like, it's again, getting back to Kane, who's taking shots from all angles and being a danger and not resting on his laurels. And as well, he never gave up the fight. He was the first one to run to the ball when the ball hit the back of the net when Bergwijn scored. So he believed that the win was there for us, and we duly got. And let's not even forget the weight of pass for that goal, for the third goal. Yeah. Unbelievable through ball to Bergwijn. It has to be inch perfect to get it through to him.
Really was.
And it was, exactly.
It really was. Golden assist. And, this is the sign of a man that is fully buying into a project right now. Fully buying into a project, and that's exactly what we wanted to see from Harry Kane. And I'm excited to see what the second half of the season brings for him. Now let's move on to the substitutes. Matt Doherty came on at half-time for Emerson Royal. 7s all round from us, and what you got to say, probably Doherty's best performance in a Spurs shirt. I thought he was really good, providing an option for us. Obviously, he had that massive hand in our second goal in the equaliser in the 95th minute, 94th minute, whatever it was. I thought he was always providing an option, always looking to attack. He was arriving in the box and he was providing some moments for us. I think he had about 4 or 5 chances created whilst coming on in that second half. So big up Matt Doherty.
Yeah, made a massive impact, especially in place of Emerson, much better than him. Yeah. And it's not all about quality sometimes. Sometimes it's just about being there. Sometimes about being an option. Sometimes about causing a nuisance for you, making the opposition defenders think and about where you are and what you're doing. And Emerson wasn't doing that. And Doherty, I don't think there was loads of quality when he came on, but what he did was he was causing trouble in the box. So the one thing I've always said about Doherty is that Wolves, his biggest asset was getting in the box, getting in the back post and being an option. And a lot of the times it worked for him. He was so many times he was able to tap home at the back post and stuff like that. And yesterday, amount of times he was in the box, causing a nuisance. Obviously that led to the second goal, and it happened a few times as well. And he also, right after he came on as well, played a lovely cross to Reguilon, who could have done a bit better with that chance. And I thought it was a really good cameo from him, so I'm very happy for him. But whether it's enough to convince Tottenham fans, you have to do a lot more than that. But it's a good starting point at least.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move over to Giovani Lo Celso. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 5. Came on for Harry Winks. And I think it was just more of the same, really, from Giovani Lo Celso. I don't really remember much that he did, and I thought that he had very little impact in the game, to be honest.
I thought, actually, he came on and he replaced Winks, I think, on the 70th minute or so. And actually, for those first 5 minutes or so when he came on, we lost control of the game a bit. It kind of destabilised us until we brought on Bergwijn, and then we got control back again. And I thought for those first 5 minutes, he was kind of out of sorts. He was lost. I thought we seemed to lose control of the game. And then once Bergwijn came on, then I actually saw him come a bit alive again. Well, once we gained control of the game back, he started to pick out some passes and get some passing moves going in and around the penalty area. And that was positive. But those that brief period when he first came on did nearly cost us the game.
Definitely. All right, the last substitute is Steven Bergwijn. Sim gives him a 9. I give him a big,
10.
fat 10 to Steven Bergwijn. The first 10 I'm giving of the season, and I think quite rightly so, man. The guy, I mean, he comes on for Sergio Reguilon, what was it, about 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go. He shows his attitude straight away with darting runs and really positive movement from Steven Bergwijn. And what can I say about what happened in those last few minutes? I mean, first of all, he gets that goal with a lovely poacher's effort coming down from Matt Doherty, finishes it off, and you're thinking, all right, cool, we've got a point from here from a losing position. Probably not the greatest result because we deserve to win. But that never say die attitude that Conte has instilled was very evident yesterday. Both him and Harry Kane go and get that ball, put it on the centre spot. Leicester lose the ball. Hojbjerg picks it up, plays it to Harry Kane. Straight away, Steven Bergwijn is on his bike. Inch perfect ball from Harry Kane, and Bergwijn rounds the keeper and slots it in the back of the net. I did think for a second that he missed it, but it did hit the side netting, inside side netting. So he goes on and scores it. And the elation from the away and the elation from every Spurs fan in this world. And you could just see what it meant on Steven Bergwijn's face. I mean, he's had a torrid year at Tottenham, a torrid year. A year ago, almost a year ago, we have that Liverpool performance when Spurs are top of the league and Bergwijn misses those 2 chances, and he goes on a massive run and didn't score until the last game of the season. Hopefully this can have the opposite effect.
Yeah, I thought it was an unbelievable cameo from him. How long was he actually on for? When did he actually come on? What, 80 minutes or so? Like, he literally wasn't even on for that long. I actually think he made a massive impact when he came on. And you'd think he makes a sub, Bergwijn for Reguilon. You're thinking, okay, Bergwijn's going to go on the left, and he's going to try and make some runs at the defender.
Came on in the 11 minutes to go. Yeah.
79th minute. So you're thinking he's going to come in on the left, make some runs at the defender, but he comes in central, partners Harry Kane up front, and I thought he was causing a massive nuisance. It wasn't just his runs. I thought he was using his strength brilliantly. He was backing into Vestergaard and Söyüncü, making himself available, making a route into the penalty area. He was laying passes off for players behind him. He was using his strength really well. And then when it came to the goals, I thought brilliant finish for the first one. Really strong, powerful finish past Kasper Schmeichel. He's a bit lucky to be at the right place at the right time, but he had to do that. But he didn't stop. He kept going. Kane grabbed the ball back, and once another opportunity came his way, there was no hesitancy. He's darting towards the goal. He is on his bike. He knows Kane has the quality to find him, and I thought the composure he showed rounding Schmeichel and then just slotting it, kissing the post on the way in. Couldn't have been more dramatic the way it happened, but unbelievable cameo. Brilliant 2 goals from him, and it shows what he can do as a central striker as well. That was also crucial because we've only known him really as a wing player or one of those number 10s as Conte likes to call him, but him up front, it showed what he can offer, and it was really, really positive from that point of view, and it might have saved his Spurs career.
Yeah, you could say that. Antonio Conte, Sim gives him an 8, I give him a 9. And you really are seeing this kind of never say die attitude coming into Spurs, especially obviously in the game yesterday because we scored 2 goals in the last 80 seconds of the game. But what I want to say is that if this game happens last year under Jose Mourinho and we're playing really well, but we get stung and we lose and we go down, I don't think we're coming back from that. I really don't think we're coming back for that. So credit to Antonio for installing the belief into the side, thinking that they can go on and win the game. And it's like you get that equaliser right at the death of the game. They're not celebrating that. They're getting the ball and they're taking it to the centre spot. And I genuinely believe that is big of what Antonio Conte is trying to bring to the team. And the way we set up the team yesterday, I thought he tweaked it a tiny bit in terms of like Winks being right at the base and Hojbjerg and Skipp doing both like a kind of box-to-box role, both getting forward quite a lot. So I think that really helped us dominate that midfield yesterday. He's brought that belief back in Harry Kane, which you can definitely see he's on side. He believes in this project. He made the changes to win the game as well. Matt Doherty coming on at half-time, which a lot of fans probably would have said, nah, probably would rather not. But he did. He brought him on at half-time. And whatever you want to say about Matt Doherty, he changed the game yesterday. He brought on Steven Bergwijn with 10 minutes to go. He could have easily stuck him out on the left because he came on against for Sergio Reguilon, but shoved him in the centre. And that's ultimately what won us the game.
Yeah, and to be honest, even the first half, we were playing so well, And it would have been easy once we conceded to feel sorry for ourselves for all the missed chances we had, but we didn't let it affect us. We hit back straight away pretty much with the goal conceded, and I think that's definitely part of the mentality that Conte is instilling in this squad. I think structurally you could see it's all there. We're dominating games. I don't think we've been outplayed once by any team so far since Conte's come in, and it shows that
not in the Premier League anyway.
Not in the Premier League, I mean, and I think structurally he's got this team knowing exactly what they're doing. Everyone knows exactly their role. As you say, the subs were not as easy as you think. Bring Doherty on at half time. A lot of people would have said no, but he did it, and it worked out massively in our favour. And I thought, in general, he managed the game really, really well. Could he have brought on the likes of Bergwijn on a bit earlier? You could say that, but look, it worked out in the end. He obviously got the 2 goals, but I thought it was a brilliant management display as well. Tactically, he switched it when he needed to be switched. He kept going for the win. He didn't accept a draw in this game, and that was the most crucial thing. And I thought another display of Conte's tactical nous and his mentality on show.
Absolutely spot on. The thing is, I wasn't even at the game yesterday. I wasn't even in the studio yesterday. My voice and my throat is hurting me. So I just can't imagine what it was for people in the stadium yesterday.
It's sore, mate.
I'm so jealous of everyone that was in that stadium yesterday.
And his reaction, by the way, after the goal, brilliant.
Man,
you don't expect anything less from Conte. I need Conte cam. Bring me a Conte cam, man. I'm
Conte
waiting.
Cam back. We're all waiting. But absolute scenes yesterday. Love bringing you these kind of videos. That is our player ratings. 5 takeaways on the way. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.